Hello, gentlemen, and welcome to the Men Save Your Marriage show. My name is Terry. I'm your host. I did an autopsy on my failed marriage, and now I use the lessons that I learned to coach other men on how to save their marriage before it fails. I'm going to share with you the things I wish someone would have shared with me before my marriage failed. Are you ready? Let's get started. Hello, gentlemen, and welcome back. This is Terry. I'm your host, and this is the Men Save Your Marriage podcast. And this, gentlemen, is episode 2 of the Lead the Way series, a masculine leadership blueprint for husbands who are ready to stop drifting, stop guessing, and start leading their homes with unshakable strength. You just heard the bell, guys. You know what that means. That means we are in the ring to fight. You and I in the same corner fighting together to save your marriage. Today we are talking about leading the way with command presence. Your wife doesn't just respond to your words. She responds to your energy. Your kids don't just hear what you say. They feel who you are. Your home, it doesn't need another list of rules. It needs the presence of a man who walks in grounded authority. So if you've ever wondered why your words don't seem to land, why she's still cold even after you try to connect, or maybe why your family doesn't move when you speak, it's probably not your content. It is your presence. And today I want to work on and fix that. So let's dive into this. As always, I've got a few points I'm going to share with you. We're also going to have, a wrap up, and then we're also going to have at the end a challenge. I want to challenge you a little bit today. I want to challenge you every one of these episodes because I want to pull out of you the leader that I'm convinced you can be. I believe that is something that is it's just innate part of our nature as men to be the leader. But we abandon that at times. Obviously, life happens, things happen, but no more excuses. Not after today. Okay, we are going to pull that leader out of you so you can lead with a command presence in your home. So let's jump into this, shall we? Point number 1, presence leads before words do. Imagine 2 men walk into a room. One is frantic, fidgeting, talking fast, avoiding eye contact, unsure, while the other is calm. His shoulders are back, his voice is steady, his eyes are cleared, and he is centered. Both say the same thing. The same words come out of both mouths, but only one gets followed. That's the power of command presence. When I say the words command presence, I think about my days many years ago back in the military. I served on board ballistic missile submarines, and every time the captain came into the bridge, it was announced, "Captain on the bridge," and he brought a command presence. He hadn't said a word. He hadn't done anything, but he just brought a presence that everyone understood. That's the guy in charge. Well, that's the power of command presence, and you have that same power. You see, command presence is the atmosphere you carry. It's the unspoken signal that says, I'm here, I'm grounded, I'm in charge of myself, and you are safe with me. And here's what no one tells you, okay? Most women decide whether or not to follow you before you ever speak a word. Because your presence speaks first. That's why it doesn't matter how many books you've read. It doesn't matter how well you explain yourself. If your energy doesn't feel strong and safe, your leadership will not land. Presence is the gateway to influence. And if you've lost it, you've lost traction. So what does command presence actually look like? Well, let's break it down, shall we? Point number 2, we're going to break down command presence. Command presence equals posture plus tone plus calm plus conviction. There are 4 components to masculine presence. and you've probably never heard this. That's why I wanted to break this down and why I called it from the first episode a blueprint. You can literally work on these like a blueprint. Read these, read the show notes, listen to the episodes, do the things I'm telling you, and you are rebuilding yourself. So there are 4 components to masculine presence. They're simple, they're trainable, and they will change everything. That first one, posture. Stand up straight. Get your shoulders back and your head level. Stop shrinking your body to avoid conflict. And sit at the table like you belong there, because you do. That's the first step and the first ingredient into creating the command presence that you need. The second one is tone. Slow down your speech. Lower your voice. Not in volume, but in depth. Cut the fluff. Eliminate all of the I just feel likes or maybe we could just. No. Speak like a man who means what he says. Now you've taken that posture and you've layered the tone and the way that you speak over top of it. Third, calm. Stop reacting emotionally. When she's angry, sit still. When the kids are melting down, you lower the temperature by being the thermostat and not the thermometer. If you've been with me at all in previous episodes, you've heard that one before. See, a man with command presence regulates the room by regulating himself. And now you've taken that posture, layered over it with tone, and now you are commanding the room and regulating the room with your calmness, with your emotionally stable voice. Regardless of who's melting down, regardless of what's happening around you, you've layered in calm on top of the posture and the tone, and now you are setting the temperature of the room. Finally, conviction. Know what you believe. Lead with certainty, even when things are uncertain. If your wife says, "What should we do about this?" and you say, "I don't know," you've just announced you're not ready to lead. Try this instead. When she says, "What should we do about this?" just look at her again. Posture, calm, tone, conviction, and just say to her, "I don't have it all figured out, but here's what I think we should do." Now that's conviction. That's presence. Let me tell you about Kyle. Kyle's wife was checked out. She was always tired, avoided intimacy, said things to him like, "I just don't feel emotionally safe with you." He told me that the first time we sat down to talk. He came to me frustrated. "Terry, I'm doing everything. I'm not yelling. I'm not being mean. I'm helping around the house." But his energy, I noticed it before we ever sat down. His energy was small. He was nervous, apologetic, felt kind of soft, and felt very passive. I asked him to record himself giving his wife a simple statement of vision. What I wanted him to do was just say, "Here's what I'd like us to work on this month in our marriage." And he recorded it. When we listened back to it, what I heard was a man trying not to rock the boat. No conviction, no certainty, no presence. So we trained. We worked together. I taught Kyle we built eye contact. We worked on his tone. We rehearsed body positions. He had never been taught any of this. Simple things that almost every leader in the business world probably knows, but for some reason at home, he didn't feel like leading. He wasn't convinced. He didn't trust himself. So we rehearsed all of this: eye contact, tone, body position. We practiced voice control. And slowly, Kyle's posture shifted. His voice slowed down. He started speaking like a man on mission. His wife didn't even need an apology. She just needed to feel like he was a man again. She softened. She leaned in. They reconnected. That's the power of presence. That is command presence. And this is a simple blueprint that you can use to begin working on yourself. All right. Take a sip of this coffee. All right. Now, point 3. Presence creates safety and sexual polarity. Let's talk about 2 things your wife craves but won't always say it. 1, emotional safety. She needs to know that when she escalates, you de-escalate. When she lashes out, you hold your frame and stand strong. And when she's overwhelmed, you stay clear. She needs to know these things. Most men try to fix, or they retreat, or they explode. Those are the 3 most common things that I see in marriages that are struggling. When the moment hits, when she's escalating, when she's spinning out of control, or when she lashes out, or when she's overwhelmed and doesn't know which direction to go, most men that I see in struggling marriages either try to fix what they can, they retreat, or they explode. Well, command presence doesn't do any of that. Command presence stays steady. Command presence says, I'm not leaving, I'm not afraid, and I'm still here. That is safety. So that's the first thing she needs, emotional safety. The second thing she needs, sexual polarity. Masculine presence activates a feminine response. If you're soft, apologetic, unclear, and hesitant, there's nothing for her to respond to. But when you carry yourself calm and confident, grounded with a masculine energy, she feels that polarity. And now she can respond with it kind of activates that feminine response from her because you are calm and confident. You've got that masculine energy and you are grounded. You don't necessarily need to seduce her. You just need to be solid. When she feels your strength, she relaxes. When she relaxes, she softens. And when she softens, attraction returns. But it all starts with you and your presence, your command presence. So let me ask you, do you walk like a man she can trust? Do you speak like a man who knows who he is? Do you carry yourself like the leader of your home? If not, let's fix it this week. Here are some drills. There's 3 different presence building missions. Number 1, a daily mirror drill. Stand in front of a mirror for 2 minutes every morning. Shoulders back, chin up, look yourself in the eye. Say out loud, I carry the presence of a man worth following. That sounds silly, doesn't it? But you need to see yourself as a man that is carrying the command presence. Once you see it, you can show it to others, and they will begin to see it. So, you can do the daily mirror drill. Here's another one. Leadership walks. Each day this week, take 1 intentional walk with your wife, maybe your child or a colleague. Practice a calm tone, a low voice, slow cadence, and eye contact. You practice these things off the blueprint, and then don't fill the silence. Let your presence fill the space. There does not have to be a word constantly being spoken. Sometimes just your command presence is all that's needed to fill a space. And then the third one is a command reset ritual. Choose 1 daily moment, coming home from work, the dinner table, prayer time, whatever, where you consciously step into command presence. You practice a physical gesture, grounding breath, and an intentional tone. You can do these things at any time, and you begin to insert yourself back in as the leader in the home and the man with the command presence. This is 3 simple ways, whether it's a daily mirror drill, a leadership walk, or just a command reset ritual somewhere throughout your day with the family or with the wife, that you can reset your command. All right. As we get ready to close, if you're serious about building this presence and not just taking it for a few days and then get a structure, you really need it to be reinforced. I want you to go to marriagearsenal.com. Get the cards, the missions, the micro moments. Get the entire arsenal that train leadership into your daily rhythm. This isn't a theory game, gentlemen. This is about transformation. If your presence has been weak or confusing or absent, this is how you rebuild it. You can use cards to reinforce pursuit, cards that have words in them that are written by a man for men to deliver to women, not the junk you find at Walmart on the shelf. You can use the missions to reinforce clarity, and you can use the reminders and the micro missions to reinforce tone. Build command presence every day until it becomes your default. This is how you save your marriage. Finally, if your wife doesn't need a therapist, she doesn't need another round of emotional coddling. She needs to feel you. She needs to feel your steadiness. She needs to feel your strength. She needs to feel your presence. This is what you were made for. This is the fire that you've forgotten about, and it's time to bring it back. You are not invisible. You are not weak, and you are not lost. You are a man, and you are a leader. Walk into your home tonight like a man on a mission. Shoulders back, eyes steady, voice clear. When you speak life. When you lead with calm. And you let her feel the shift in you. This is how you lead. So go home, use the blueprint, and lead the way. I thank you, gentlemen. I look forward to seeing you back here soon for episode 54 as we continue on the Lead the Way series. In the meantime, I want you to practice these challenges. I want you to go home, lead, use the tone, use this entire blueprint, the tone, use all of it, the calm, use everything at your disposal, and be the man she needs you to be. This is how you can begin to save your marriage. All right, gentlemen, until next time, I hope you go out and have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.